Good morning. You're listening to AVNewsCast.com on News Talk 1380. And we got Shauna the Temptress in here.
Evil.
Yes.
The Temptress?
Yeah, she knows I started Weight Watchers, and she gets this grin on her face. Do you want a donut?
She's evil. She's like one of them people in the commercials, like the little cupcake guy on the side of the street that waves at you and you roll the window up. Yeah.
Just get the box, Shauna, and just put it next to Angie.
That's some cold
evil.
stuff.
She'll cave in.
Evil.
I won't cave in.
She'll go to McDonald's, get some fries.
Oh.
Nope.
She'll cave in.
I'm
So,
not.
now look at Kenny through the window here. Kenny's
That's some cold stuff.
They're
right
really
there.
teasing
You guys are
her.
evil.
I was nice. I said, don't bring
Thank
me a
you.
donut out of respect for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
in a couple of minutes.
And she's so mean to me. I'm the nicest person in this whole stinking room. Gee.
Sorry, Steve.
So, yeah.
No problem.
I wanted to ask more about the sapphire glass.
Oh, on the iPhone 6.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't.
Is that the only new thing that's going to be on the iPhone?
No, there's going to be
6?
a lot of new stuff.
They
but,
keep saying a lot,
yeah,
but it really never is a lot.
Apple's so secretive. You know, you've got all kinds of speculation, and some sources have been consistently good on their information.
Okay, so blow me away. What is it? Nothing good?
I don't know yet. I want what was on that video.
Yeah.
No, it showed
doesn't
showed
exist.
How could that
the
not
technology
exist,
is there
Seriously,
though.
Steve, that just and if you could even make it up, how could it not be available?
It says
You know how
lay
come
me
it
on a
doesn't-
flat
look,
surface.
We can't find a frickin' airplane.
We're
okay?
not looking. The
So-
Asian people are looking.
Oh.
Are we looking? The Navy's looking.
Wow. Okay. You need to download some news apps.
Wait, Steve.
Okay.
Steve, just look at Jeff. Just look at Jeff.
Yeah. In a couple of minutes, we'll have Assemblyman Steve Fox live on the show. I've reached out to all the other candidates, just about all the other candidates, and we'll have them all on the show in the next coming days or the next week or two, which is going to be great. And I posted on Facebook that Steve was going to be on the show today,
Right.
and then I come into the studio, and I got this J.D. Kennedy for Assembly left on the keyboard here.
I
Right
know,
there,
how-
propped up.
Okay.
How'd that get there?
Yeah, isn't that something?
Let me see it, please.
Isn't that something? Yeah, so, it was just
It
left
should
there for me.
It should be right next to Jordan's.
Well, it's, what?
It should be next to Jordan's. They look like classmates.
Young.
They do?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
because
both
you
look
say
12.
J.D. Kennedy it looks like a young senator?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't say he looked like a young senator.
Okay, well, you said
just said
something
like-
like that.
Okay.
Yeah, you said something like that. I think Kenny's telling us we've got Steve Fox on the line.
Yes, we do.
Assemblyman Fox.
There we go.
Assemblyman, are you with us? Kenny, I got nothing.
Oh, there he is. Mr. Fox? Uh-oh.
Hello?
Hi,
we go.
Assemblyman.
Hi, how are you?
I am wonderful. How are
We're
you?
good.
Busy as always.
I bet you are.
Thanks for taking the time to come on the show.
My pleasure.
I have a couple of questions that I want to ask you, but before I do, I know healthcare is something very important to you.
Yes.
So I want to ask you about that. I went through something a couple of years ago and ended up having a stent put in. It scared the heck out of me. A couple of weeks ago, Angelina went through something and ended up in the emergency room.
No, don't tell me it's my turn.
Yeah, no. Okay.
Hopefully it's not. I do share your concerns.
Yeah.
Well, here in the Antelope Valley, in fact, I believe it's California, we have the highest rate of cancer. Okay, just in the Antelope Valley throughout the state.
Yeah, I've talked to different medical providers on that issue. I think some of the dumping. Are we on the air yet or no?
Yeah, we are.
You're live on the air. You've got about
Oh, okay.
25,000 people listening to you right now.
Yeah, well, the answer to you is yes. I went through my own healthcare scares in being in the legislature. You go up to Sacramento. It's a different environment. You end up finding out you're allergic to the trees, the grass, and the dust mites. Mm-hmm. But I also am a diabetic, and I have high blood pressure. And I guess I overworked myself last year, and I didn't watch my medications or have the right mix. And my blood pressure went up to 207 over like 180. I was unfortunately, one of the symptoms is you start falling asleep. And my staff was concerned, took me to the nurses. They rushed me to the emergency room in Sacramento. They quickly analyzed what was wrong, and I readjusted my medication, and I haven't missed a day since of taking my high blood pressure medication. But the realization is all of us get a little older, and I'm 61, is that we have to watch it. We we have a normal life, we can accomplish everything we want, but we have to take the time out to exercise, we have to take the time out to make sure we take our medications, and something happens to all of us, through our lives. And just as you mentioned, a stint. And again, we don't know what's going to go wrong. Some of it's pre-programmed in our bodies, and we just have to be very careful. And we can live a good life. It's just that we have to be responsible.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah, how was your blood pressure when you were in the hospital, Angie?
I was 226 over 130.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you
And I thought, and literally, Mr. Fox, I thought, she's like, we don't have a bed ready. I'm like, what? I was scared to death because I just take it for granted, and I feel fine in my head. So I just take it for granted. So now I'm on Weight Watchers, and I'm on blood pressure medication, and I actually had a challenge to start a boot camp, but was told I can't do it until my blood pressure is,
Comes down.
Yeah, because I'm still 170 over 98. It's still crazy. So I've got to wait like another month or two, and then I'll be able to join that boot camp and really kill myself. But the scary part is I'm waiting for that bill. I'm waiting for the bill from the emergency room.
Well, there's is it at Antelope Valley Hospital?
Yeah.
They had a special program that if you paid so much up front, you get a discount. That's one option. Did you have health insurance at the time?
No.
And the other option, which unfortunately a number of people can do a bankruptcy and it wipes out the medical charges, and that's another option. The other thing is obviously the Affordable Care Act. And also, it's interesting when you go into the hospital, they will see if you qualify for any programs many times, and they'll double check it because they like to get paid too. That's another thing you may want to talk to them about. What could you have applied for? Can you apply for something retroactively? Can you get your bill paid that way?
Yeah, they were talking to me about things, but in my head I was just saying, "Don't stroke out, don't stroke out, don't stroke." Yeah. So I didn't hear anything past the blood pressure.
I know exactly how you feel. I was anxious to get home, and they wouldn't let me go. They wouldn't let me get on a plane. They did rush me to the emergency room with the blood pressure as high as it was.
Yeah.
And of course, I said I'm going to be fine. The typical denial type thing. And I had to come to grips with the realization I am going to have this for the rest of my life. And to be honest, I have not missed a day. I have 2 different medications for high blood pressure, Hyzer and Norvac that I'm on, and I haven't missed a day since. And I also have to take my diabetes medicine too.
Yeah.
But you can live a normal life. You just have to make sure you take your medication.
Yes, sir.
And then you're all good, because we all push ourselves too much and we don't take care of ourselves. All right.
Well, thank
Steve,
you for your compassion. I appreciate that.
Steve, let me ask you a question. You're running a campaign. There's 4 other candidates running.
The only thing I want to look out for you right now, because there's 5 other candidates. I don't know if you have to give equal time to the other candidates. As long as you realize that, I'll be happy to talk about it.
Okay.
But I have to look out for you as well.
And you know what? I would never do anything without covering my own butt. So I've already reached out to everybody. Okay, and everybody gets equal time.
So now ask whatever you want.
Okay. There's 4 other candidates, a total of 5, including yourself, running for state assembly in the 36th district. You've got about 25,000 people listening to you right now. Why should people vote for you over the other 4?
There's a great deal of reasons, and all of them are honorable people. So I'm not going to say anything wrong in that regard. So I'm going to say what's right. What's right is, for better or for worse, the state assembly has a 2/3 +1. I'm the +1. Overwhelming majority of Democrats, which means that they can get things done. It's not right when a Republican puts in their bill; it doesn't usually get through committee. It doesn't get on the floor. It doesn't get passed. In my case, because I'm a conservative, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting my position to protect your Second Amendment rights, and you're also getting, where I was a school teacher for 10 years, you're getting my push on education. So my bills are getting through. and I'm still representing the Antelope Valley. I look at the emails. I talk to my constituents. I try to vote the district. So what you get from me is my previous 23 years experience as an elected official on different boards, the hospital board, the college board, or resource board. You're getting the experience, and you're getting the fact that I have a track record now where I've brought deliverables to the district. I helped bring the enterprise zone, which would allow new jobs for people where now you're a tax credit if a new employer hires you after July 1st. You're in the area, so we have one in the Antelope Valley, and we have one in Palmdale. In addition to just legislation getting through, I've lobbied and been very successful. I got the party behind me to get it. I brought $2.7 million of redevelopment money. Each city was getting so much to rebuild things, the governor took it away. And I was able to reverse 2.7 of the takeaway from Palmdale so they could finish building 1,000 low-cost homes. So what you're getting from me is you're getting the power of the party behind me, and you're getting the values of our community. And I think those are all good things. And I've got a track record to prove it. And I've also started an infinite number of projects. I have a number of bills that I think will help our valley. Recently, the governor allocated $687 million in emergency funds for the drought problem. And we have a drought problem. This is the worst in 100 years. We're in our third year of a drought. Even the water that we banked from last year, they're not giving us for the first time. We just put in a letter for 5 projects, $30 million in our district of that money for shovel-ready projects, which would also create jobs in our district. So what you're getting, to answer your question, is you're getting deliverables. We're fighting the drought. We have more money for education. The governor's budget, which I'm supporting, is with some changes, is $44 billion in there, and $8.5 billion towards education, paying off the credit cards of every school district. The school districts in the last few years took out loans to make sure they could process education and help our children. We're paying off those credit cards, all those debts, so that the school districts will have an even playing field. They won't have to worry about, how much is going for interest, how much is going for debt. They won't have their debts. So we're being responsible. We have put $2.5 billion in a rainy day fund and balanced the budget. So just because we had money didn't mean we were going to spend it. So what it is if there's another problem, the money will be there to take care of the problem, because budgets come up and down. And the other realization is there's things I voted for that the other party didn't. And again, I respect people from both parties, because I was a Republican for 30 years. I changed over to being a Democrat, and then I got elected. I voted for $301 million in a trailer bill last year that would help our community colleges, because, you've got students, you've got buildings. Try getting a class. And we put in a thing there with the extra money that at least half has to go for instruction. So we're hoping to get more money trickled down. And by the way, I'm chairman of the Community Colleges Select Committee, and I had a very good committee meeting on that. In addition, I voted for $700 million for K through third grade to lower the size of the classrooms down to 23 if possible, if a school district wants matching funds. So what you're getting is our children are our future, and you're going to get results where we're going to help them get to that future, a good future. So to answer your question, that's just a start of what I've begun. And I'd like an opportunity to finish that. I'd like an opportunity to keep going. Every budget is a new battle, and I'm doing my best. In the courts, they cut 51 courts in California. I was able to keep our courthouse open. They started taking our personal injury cases and file them downtown L.A. I lobbied. They reversed that. I've got some other things I want to reverse because justice delayed is justice denied, and I think everybody has a right to their day in court. So, and it's interesting because I'm the only attorney in the legislature that's still practicing. The others don't practice. It's very difficult to do, and I'm slowly winding down my practice. But because of that, I've got the judges coming into my office saying the courts need this, this, and this. So I've lobbied for our courts, especially in our area, to stay open and that we have the services that we need. So to answer your question, my background as an attorney, my background as a school teacher, my background on the Yellow Valley Hospital for 14 years as a board member on healthcare, you're getting a lot of experience to represent our district and to represent our community.
Okay. You said that you have a lot of things that you want to continue. You want to go another term. I'm sure that you've got things on your desk that you didn't get to take care of first term.
They have a thing called two-year bills where you start things or you can introduce new bills this year. I've got one bill on, a lot of people in our valley are getting traffic tickets, and the economics are down, and you can't afford it, and then all of a sudden it triples in penalty,
right.
And all of a sudden you drive around now, and your license has been suspended, and if you get caught with that, you get a misdemeanor. So what I have a bill that's already been numbered, and what's going to happen is it's an amnesty forgiveness program where it gets rid of all the penalties, and you're back to the original fine if the ticket's 3 years older or more. This way, people that have been stuck with this problem will now have an opportunity to get out of it. So that's another bill I've got. I've got to bring aerospace business. I've got a new idea on how to convince business to come to California. And in the past, it's layered liability, and then this is my knowledge as an attorney comes in that right now, business, if it comes into California and they get sued, they lose their shirt.
Yeah.
So what I've done is, for the first, what the bill is going to do is, with the first $5 million worth of a lawsuit, they have to carry insurance, and it's just general negligence, and they can be sued. After the $5 million, we make the liability harder to gross negligence. Now it's almost impossible to sue them. So now you've got the consumer attorneys in the Senate are willing to consider it because they know the first $5 million they can sue, and the businesses will come to California because they know the only cost of doing business is going to be that insurance policy. So I'm tackling complicated programs to bring business, space liability, space business to California, create jobs. I tried before on the drones. We weren't successful, but I got it through the Assembly and the Senate. I also was able to get through the Assembly, and I was parked at the Senate, and we're going to push through that to build a 4-year college in the Apple Valley. I did a study, and I found that and I looked at other studies. I found that our kids are smart kids in our valley, and we have a higher rate of high school graduation than most areas in California. We have a lower rate of college graduation, and the reason is our kids don't have access to a 4-year university, a public 4-year. So, I mean, we got little parts like Bakersfield has maybe 400 students out here, but there really isn't a full curriculum for our students at low cost to be able to take that. The other thing we did for education is we pushed through finance on the Middle Class Scholarship Act. And that's very important if you want to send your kid to a 4-year college. Because if you apply for it every year and you make under $150,000, it's for middle class, that your child will get a 17% deduction the first year from his tuition, 20 the second, 30 the third, and 40 the fourth. And so what you've got there is now, because people used to mortgage their house, the houses have no equity. So how are they going to pay for their kids' college education? So we're giving the middle class an ability to get lower tuition, and we've added additional funds to the universities to be able to cover this. At both the 4 years, both the state colleges and the UCs, your child can now get a decent education. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to be able to do it.
Nice.
Okay, now let me ask you and I don't want to keep you too long, but just one more question. You know, a few months back, California lost the opportunity to be designated as a drone testing area. Okay? Just 2 weeks ago, Tesla, the auto manufacturer and battery manufacturer, announced that they looked at California to actually build a multi-billion-dollar plant that could have employed maybe 5,000 people, but they couldn't open in California. California just wouldn't be competitive and allow them to open. How do we make that change up in Sacramento so we can get big business to come back to California?
We started. One of the components of the enterprise zone, which isn't widely out there yet, is that the governor can create his own tax incentive package and go to other states and other businesses and then say, here's your tax incentive, and get approved by a committee. And now we have an incentive for them to come to California. I've already come up with some ideas on some of our businesses that have out-of-state components to, I'm going to meet with GoBiz department, the governors, and say, is there a way we can do a tax package? And I'm working on that concept. I think we've got to do a lot more than we've done, there's no question. And when the caucus put its priorities together before we were going to work on our version of the budget, one of them was we want business to come to California. So there's a new sense, actually a conservative group of us, of about 14, called the Mod Democrats. We look for how do we help business. And it's a really simple concept. If you help business, they're going to have more money to hire people. And it's getting this concept through the rest of the legislature, and it's permeating. We're pushing it. If we attach it to, you have X amount of jobs, here's your tax incentive, but we're coming up with ideas to how can we make it easier, get rid of regulations. There's a group of us that would like to that feel that small businesses are just overburdened with regulations. And don't forget, I ran a small business, but I'm still running it, and it's hard because you're paying all this money and you can barely make a profit from day to day. And I understand that. And that's what we have to do. We have to make it easy for business to want to come to California and to grow.
Yeah, it is the regulation. The over-regulation is just killing the small businessman.
You have no idea, and I feel it. When I had 5 employees, I let my employees go when I switched over. I had to worry, and I gave them jobs in the assembly initially. When you cross over and you realize that you've got this workman's comp and you've got to pay salaries, and whether you make a profit or not, they still have to pay their bills. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of responsibility there that you have to, from day to day, am I going to make it? And you end up working 24/7 no matter what you're going to do. So I understand that. I've asked the jobs. I'm on the jobs committee as well, and I've asked them. I want a list of what regulations we can get rid of. See, you have 3 ways to grow a business. You can have labor, and we do not have inexpensive labor here. You have to have property, and our property values, even though they've gone down, are still expensive. What you do have is mental capital, and if you can give money to a small businessman to grow the money, or let them keep their own money, they're going to grow because they want to. I mean, that's part of the American system, the American dream, to be able to afford a house and take care of your kids and put them through school. So we have to make it easy as we can and responsible and balance as much as we have to allow the small businessman to make a living.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree, and that's one of the problems. And we know how regulation works, Angie, because we operate a business in Palmdale.
Yeah, we do. I do have a question for you, Mr. Fox, if I can. One of the things that I've heard in the sense of criticism towards you is how you did not vote one way or the other regarding the AB. What was
1266?
1266 for the gender issues in the school districts. How would you respond to why you chose?
A lot of reasons. Number one, there's only about 10 kids who qualify through the entire county that fit that description from what I'm told. It's almost a non-issue, but it's a real issue. I personally was not for it. I thought there were other alternatives, like here's a 3rd bathroom they can go to, or make everybody have a single bathroom so no one would know the difference. As an attorney, I weighed rights. The child who has been changed has rights, and the little girls in the locker room have privacy rights. They both have rights. To quote one Supreme Court Justice, Justice Lerner in hand, my rights in the end of my fist, the beginning of your nose, which means we have limited rights. When our rights start infringing on somebody else's, that's where our rights should stop. So there's a real concern. And also there's a question of safety. If someone finds that out and you've gone into the other restroom, you may be creating violence and creating more of a problem. Actually, what I did is I looked at all the emails, and they were split. And I looked at my community, and it was split. So how do you vote when you want to be representative of the community, regardless of your own opinion, which, I wasn't for that version of the bill. And I would have, voted no if it was just me. I looked at the emails and they were split, so I lay off of it, which is, when you abstain, it's a kinder, gentler no. It's still a no, but you need 41 positive votes for it to pass. It passed anyway because the people on the left already had the votes, but I had to vote the community. And I do think that they should have vetted it a little bit better, and I think they should have said, okay, what's another alternative where we're respecting everybody's rights? And just like the airport, we have a 3rd bathroom for families. Why couldn't you just do that? It wouldn't cost much. You would avoid any controversy. There would be no possibility of violence or infighting. I'm criticized from both sides on the bill. I'm criticized from the left for not voting for it, and I'm criticized from the right for not voting no. I did abstain, which is a kinder, gentler no, and I voted the district. And a lot of times, and I will even change my vote if the district is overwhelmingly on one side and I'm on the other, I'll vote the district. Mm-hmm. And that's what I think that an elected official should do, is represent his community and his constituency.
Now, what's nuts, and I'm just going to say this and then I'll let you go, but after AB 1266 was passed and it became law, signed by the governor, there was an uproar. And then with that uproar, all the voters in the state had an opportunity to try to get that on the ballot. Mm-hmm. Okay? With that uproar, people couldn't get off their couch to get in to get it on the ballot.
Right.
So, that says a lot.
Yeah, it does.
I think, though, we have to be sensitive to everybody's opinions, whether they're on the couch or not. Although what you're saying is, if you really want to do something, you get up and you take action. Mm-hmm. And that's what I try to do every time. And I do listen to what everybody says. And I agree with you. But again, I try to be sensitive to everybody's concerns.
No, I get that. I want to thank you for taking the time today.
Thanks a lot.
To come on the show.
Thank you both very much.
All right, thanks,
God
Steve.
bless you.
Have a wonderful weekend.
You too. Take care.
Thanks. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to AV Newscast on News Talk Radio 1380, and we'll be right back.
Join us at Palmdale Carino's for our new ribs and chicken parmesan and spaghetti combo for just $12. Seriously, just $12. Enjoy our slow roasted tender Italian-style baby back ribs and hand-breaded chicken parmigiana served with spaghetti and endless fresh-baked bread for only $12. This is a limited time offer, so hurry into Carino's. And remember, Carino's Caters will make your next event special.
Whether it's a business meeting, wedding reception, or other important event in your future, the Hilton Garden Inn has the space, the staff, the food, and the amenities to ensure your event unfolds flawlessly. From a delectable menu and great bar offerings to the latest audio-visual equipment, Hilton Garden Inn has everything you need for a successful big day. We're committed to providing an excellent hotel experience for every guest, every time. Hilton Garden Inn is located in Palmdale at the Antelope Valley Mall.
If you're thinking about getting your backyard in shape for entertaining, there's only one place to shop, and that's Abadak Outdoors in Palmdale. At Abadak Outdoors in Palmdale, you'll save up to 70% off retail every day at our factory warehouse showroom. Abadak has everything you need to get your backyard in shape, like 7.5-foot tall, 41,000 BTU, freestanding LPG patio heaters for just $159.99. How about a fully enclosed backyard gazebo? Fire up that barbecue and enjoy a nice meal inside one of our Mandalay, Trinidad, or Mykonos freestanding gazebos. Just $219.97 every day. If you want wholesale prices, come to Abadak Outdoors in Palmdale. How about backyard shade or car canopies? You can pick a variety of color choices starting at just $129.97. Stop by Abadak Outdoors in Palmdale. We're located at 38940 Trade Center Drive, 1 block east of 10th Street West. The Abadak Factory Showroom is open from 8 to 4 every day. That's Abadak Outdoors at 38940 Trade Center Drive in Palmdale, where you'll save up to 70% off retail every day. Check us out on the web at abadak.com or give us a call at 661-480-1562. Imagine Maker recognizes and salutes the men and women in uniform standing tall for our freedom. Let's remember them in our thoughts and prayers. That's courtesy of veteran Les Teal of Image Maker, providing both HD, video, and photography for special events, community activities, schools, churches, reunions, sports, weddings, and TV commercials. Wedding specials are 20% veteran discounts. They're a multimedia company with over 30 years of local and international experience, with state-of-the-art equipment to meet your needs. Call them today toll-free at 888-746-8629 or locally at 661-943-9024.
There's a school in Palmdale that's become the talk of the town. It's called the Guidance Charter School, and many parents say it's magical. The Guidance Charter School is WASC certified, scored 783 in academic performance, and has an educational curriculum that exceeds what the state of California recommends. The curriculum is enriched through age-appropriate exposure for information technology, arts, foreign language such as Arabic, and physical education. The Guidance Charter School is now going to have a full CIF sports program with soccer, basketball, track, cheerleading, and more. They're an open enrollment school, publicly funded, and have been in business for 12 years, fully approved by Palmdale School District. The Guidance Charter School has small class sizes such as 20 students in grades K through 3, 25 in 4 through 8, and just 30 students in grades 9 through 12. Call the Guidance Charter School in Palmdale today at 661-272-1701. That's the Guidance Charter School in Palmdale, 661-272-1701. And check out their website at thegcs.org. A better high school choice.
Welcome back to AVNewsCast.com on News Talk 1380.
You know, if any of the other candidates are listening that are running for state assembly, I've reached out, I think, pretty much to everybody. The only person I didn't have a chance, I think, to call last night was Tom Lackey, and I know I can call Tom, and he's happy to come on the show.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, I just want to let everybody know that they're all welcome to come on the show.
Please
and
do.
everybody gets equal time. That's what it's all about. And, you know,
And it won't cost you anything.
No, and I'd love to have, you know, people running for city council in Lancaster on the show. We got to figure out, though, how we would do that, because there's 12 candidates.
Oof.
Okay,
Well,
and
we're
you bring
on
one
7
on.
days. We'll just keep it running. It'll
I'm
be a
just saying.
two-week event.
You know, you bring one on, you got to bring all of them. So we'd have to reach out and get everybody to say yes before we even brought one on.
Right.
Why do they all have to say yes? We can ask them all.
Well, pardon me?
We can ask them all.
Yeah, if that's correct. Okay, and if one says no, that's okay.
Right.
As long as we have that documented.
Right.
Okay.
So we'll send
we
emails.
We got to reach out to all of them.
Yeah.
Because
it shouldn't be, they can't get on because somebody said no.
No. If they say no, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we've reached out.
The opportunities.
Do you remember a couple of weeks ago we talked on the show about George Ventura and his wife going home?
Yes.
Okay? And having
there's a photo shoot going on over there.
You know what?
Okay, George Ventura. Right.
You remember we talked about that, and
Yes.
they had two guys that came into their garage.
Yeah.
And really tried to do some damage.
Yeah.
And his wife ended up going to the hospital. Mm-hmm. He got a subpoena, and George did, and he is at the courthouse right now. Mm-hmm. Looks like they caught one of the guys.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good.
so that's great news.
Good.
You know?
And they didn't have
sweat him
masks
out so they can
on
find
or
the other
anything. They didn't have a mask on. They could identify them, right?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I hope they can.
I don't know. But we should actually get him on the show. Just to talk about that.
Yes.
You know? Yesterday.
You're scaring me. Kenny, you're scaring me.
Who, Kenny?
Yeah.
Why?
What's he doing?
He just... Because you coughed. Nobody else.
Oh, he did a dump?
Yeah, he did.
Nice.
Okay.
Jeff was coughing. You just coughed. Yeah.
Oh, you.
Yesterday, one of the Palmdale Sheriff's deputies was in court. Mm-hmm. He had been facing rape and bribery charges.
Yeah.
And yesterday, he was found guilty.
Yes.
Of rape and of rape under the color of authority and soliciting a bribe.
That's crazy.
Now, you know.
But that can't be Steve, right?
No.
For that.
Hold on. You know what's in? I'll tell you
Where's
something.
Angia?
I spoke to a lot of deputies here in Palmdale. Nobody knew that this was going. This was somebody, okay, and a lot of the deputies were angry about this. This was somebody that they would have breakfast with.
No.
Okay.
Well,
or
that's
socialize.
always the case, of course.
Yeah.
I know, and had absolutely no idea.
And they feel victimized
Okay.
because
They do.
they
Yeah.
befriended him.
They do,
Yeah, absolutely.
Very
it's,
much.
it's a horrible, horrible thing.
and they don't like this
Because
throws a
everybody
light.
looks at you. Yeah.
Yeah, and
you know?
they didn't like it at all.
All of a sudden, Kenny's up for child molestation, and he's our friend.
Ken, you had to pick Kenny.
Well, I didn't want to pick nobody in
Well,
the
because
room.
it's that donut. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that donut that got
Yeah.
him. But no, I
that coming.
totally understand because, these other sheriffs could be really on the up and up and, servicing the community like they all should. And they were, breaking bread with this guy and thought that he was part of the team.
Yeah, that they would barbecue together with, they
Yeah.
would socialize together,
But see, that's what these 6 dudes do.
and
they're-
it was
they're-
and
Yeah.
no one
sadistic.
had
Oh yeah,
any
yeah. This
idea.
mask of normalcy that that they sometimes really have to work hard to cultivate. But,
Right.
I mean, it's
Right, and
it's scary.
so the deputy's name was is Jose Sanchez, and how this all came about was he pulled over a 24-year-old female driver who had an outstanding warrant.
Oh.
He offered not to arrest her
Oh.
if she would have sex with him. He then drove her out to the desert
Oh.
and raped her. That's how it all came about.
There's so many things that I could say to that.
And
I mean,
just a couple days after that, he
You
pulled
know-
over another
Yeah.
woman. Okay.
One wasn't enough.
No, pulled over another woman for DUI. Okay, and did the same thing. Went through the same deal. Yeah, terrible.
Terrible.
So he is going to get 8 years and 8 months
Uh-huh.
in prison. What happens to a bad cop that goes to prison?
Get him.
Protected
They get
custody.
hooked up?
They get hooked up?
Yeah, the sheriff, the deputies that are guarding him, hook them up.
No, they get got.
Really? Is that what you think?
They get got.
I think they're no. I think it's completely the opposite.
He's going down. Fresh meat. It's a cop.
I don't think he doesn't get any special favors.
No, okay.
No,
Because they don't do that.
no.
Kenny, help me. You
No.
have a mic over there.
He's going to be in
What?
protective custody.
Exactly. What are you thinking?
Well, maybe he will for that. Okay?
Yeah.
Perhaps because everybody wants a piece of them.
Yeah.
Okay? This is somebody that sheds a bad light.
Well,
Yeah.
it's kind of
Okay.
nice, though, because he's going to have to be locked up with all the molesters and stuff, so that's nice.
Right.
Yeah. There won't be any
Right.
walk in the park.
That's gonna be.
He's going to be walking with his
terrible.
back to the wall all the
Yeah.
way.
Yep. Okay, the missing Malaysian airline.
I mean,
Okay. Now last night, now the
they
U.S.
should just
government is
stop
now
talking
involved.
about it until they find something, because right now it's just a joke.
It's weird.
Now the U.S. government got involved. Now they're saying that, oh, wait a minute, this signal was turned off, and systematically the next one was turned off 14 minutes later. Okay, and Angelina's not paying attention to anything that's going on
the
this
second
show.
one was turned
Okay.
off.
But
19
what about-
minutes
I want
later.
everyone
I heard
to know
you.
that.
What about Rolls-Royce monitoring? Because they get a constant signal about temperature and speed, and they get a maintenance signal, not really a location, but
Right,
they monitor the signal.
which
It
they
went
need
for
to
another.
change.
It went for another 4 hours.
Right.
exactly.
Which they need to. Isn't it amazing how things like this needs to happen for them to say, "Hey, maybe we should put a locator on our stuff too."
Well-
Like, why wouldn't that be something that?
Well, they do.
in the
going out
past.
no, I'm talking
No.
about Rolls Royce.
But in the past,
Oh,
If you're gonna have a blip on it, might as well know where your stuff's at too. Why not?
well, here's the thing. We've got, you've got Find My iPhone.
yes, thank you.
Now you can find your iPhone.
Thank you.
Okay, but we can't find a plane, and we
No.
don't have the tech.
there isn't
Can't
somebody
they
on
have-
board the plane with Find My iPhone.
Right.
You know,
That's not nice, but it's hysterical.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what they should use. Call Apple. At least half the
Yeah.
passengers on the plane has Find My iPhone.
yeah. Now I understand that that the government has shared with the United States and other countries the information that they have. The United States is saying, "No, we don't want you to just tell us about it. We actually want it. We want to be able to take a look at it.
Oh.
Okay? We want everything. We want to get in your system."
Well, see, that's when the
Okay.
macho.
'Cause we've got
that's
better
when
technology.
the macho stuff comes. Yeah, and then the other ones are going to be like, no, you
Yeah.
guys think that your stuff don't stink, and you're the only ones that can do it. We got this. So now it's going to be really ridiculous.
Well, but they don't have it.
Well,
and-
they're
and-
going to say they have it. Of course, they're going to say they have it.
The Malaysian government is saying, we're being transparent. But really, they're not giving everybody everything that they want. They're telling you this. They'll put it on paper. But we actually want the computer. We
do have a
access
vested
to
interest
everything.
because we do have some Americans. Yeah.
So does the Chinese
Like-
government, and they're
Right.
getting pretty pissed off too. Okay, they want
Now
access
you're
as
giving
well.
me this 3. Okay. She's giving me a 3. We got 3 Americans on there. But when I say that I've got my margin of error on the death penalty thing, she's all over that.
What? How do you?
But
how do
we
you
can
do that?
lose 3 Americans.
Kenny,
we can
help
lose
me.
3 Americans.
How do you do that?
She's got her margin of error, and I have my margin of error.
How do you do that?
Oh, I get it. You
Yeah.
don't want to lose 3 Americans, and you don't care about you losing 3 Americans, but you'll let a criminal not get the death penalty.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
that's never what
That's
I
it.
said about a criminal not getting the death penalty. I've always said the
Well,
innocence.
one not
Well,
guilty
these
person.
3 people on the airplane were innocent.
Well, every single person on the plane is innocent. What do you mean?
Pantomiming. What?
Except for maybe if there was a hijacker. Maybe.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
they're saying that certain things were systematically shut down. But what if? What if there was a mechanical failure? Okay,
Crazy.
which caused
It was a perfect storm.
the first thing
Just a
to shut off,
catastrophic
okay?
series of
something,
events.
and they struggled with this plane. Okay, for 15 minutes until they couldn't do whatever they did, and that's why the other thing was going for 14 minutes. Or is the
Or-
plane on some island right now?
Yeah, what's
and,
the name of that
Barbecue
show?
with
Lost.
Amelia Earhart.
This is Lost times part 4.
But what I really don't understand with all of our and so many satellites, I don't understand why we can't find a plane.
Look, we can't find. Stop talking about it. That's what I say. Stop talking about it and just go look for the dang on plane. Because every day you turn on the news and it's something else. Hey, did you hear this?
Oh,
News
we love a
break.
good conspiracy.
Blah, blah, blah.
Everybody
and
loves a good
and it makes us
conspiracy.
sound ridiculous. Well, not us, but it makes them sound ridiculous when they really just have a DVR box and with the antenna, antennas up saying, looking for the bleep. It's done. They don't know. The truth of the matter is that they don't have the technology.
Well, the media's got to have something to say. That it's the same thing as Storm Watch. You get a win.
Yes.
No,
what it is that we're light on news right now, so they're beating that to death.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, it's not that everybody's light on. I think everybody is kind of making a bit of a mockery out of the fact that we can do anything we want to do.
But it's not we. If the Malaysian government does not want to allow other governments to come in and help, it's not a we factor. The Chinese is not all in trying to figure it out and knowing everything that the Malaysians know, and neither are we. Everybody is doing their own little thing with a bit of information. Nobody has the whole picture because the Malaysians have the technology that this building has by means of radar. I mean, it's nothing.
Okay, if you had to, do you
Their
think
system is like what you're standing in front of right now?
Okay, all right.
A couple Windows XP machines.
Yeah.
Do you think the plane's going to be found intact somewhere?
No.
Do you
I think on TV the show that someone's writing out right now, Spielberg, he's writing it out right now. In his movie it is.
Spielberg? Did you say?
No, I said Spielberg because he.
Who's Spielberg?
I'm the guy who makes the story up.
Yeah, that's the generic guy.
Stay with me.
That's the generic guy.
Yeah.
Harvey Mushman.
Right. Right.
With everything that everyone's talking about, this plane can't land anywhere. Okay, if it had landed anywhere, everybody would know about it.
No,
Unless it's on an island somewhere.
If it landed somewhere, then it was a hijacking, and then it was Al Qaeda times 150. All of the passengers are dead because somebody would make it out and say, "Hey, I'm okay. I'm alive. I'm under the desk. Please help me. I was on the plane." No, they're not going to allow that. So all of them are dead. You'll never know until that plane is in the air and somebody in Malaysia is saying, "What's that bleep? That bleep don't have a number." And boom, it's in the building.
If it was a hijacking,
yeah,
and they are somewhere, that's going to be a serious problem.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that they would be somewhere? You're telling me that you don't think that they would kill all of the passengers? They don't want this to be released. If they did hijack it, they wanted the plane to be able to use at another time. So their best scenario is for us all to scratch our head and wonder where the plane is so that they can have it somewhere.
Or as hostages saying, release so-and-so Chechen guy.
They would have already said so. It's been a week already.
Yeah.
They're dead.
Okay, from a spy's point of view, okay, with the satellites we have.
I guess he don't like my point of view.
No, hold on. With the satellites we have, and I understand you can't see underwater.
Yeah.
But on land or whatever's out there, they've already combed all that land, right? Probably, right?
I know there's people where I used to work that are hard at work on that right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Looking at everything.
Mm-hmm.
They can look under leaves. They can find anything.
Oh, we could, during a desert storm, Saddam thought he was smart. He would take a bulldozer and dig out a trench and then put a tank under there and then put plywood over it and pour sand and everything and just have the barrel sticking out. And we saw that with the infrared. We just shot right through the plywood and saw the tanks there like it was nothing. So, I mean...
From space?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Dang. And we can't find a plane.
Yeah. And
now there's a lot of hangars and stuff you can't see in a hangar. So.
That thing never focuses on a house.
What do you mean?
Like, I mean...
Over here?
I
just
feel naked with that kind of technology. You're in your room, just about to take a shower. You can see a tank under wood. I mean,
I promise you
so exposed.
that there's no analyst looking through your walls.
You don't know what I'm up to, baby.
I'm telling you.
Did I told you about that one picture, though, my favorite I found when I was working in a counter narcotics shop. And they had a picture of Gitmo. And it was before they had, all the terrorist suspects in there. They had a big group of Haitian refugees there that were trying to make their way over and almost drown. And they had this big area, big open area, and they're all sitting there, and they had the men and the women separated. And they had a roll of barbed wire between them. And I guess one of the guys, he had enough. He had to get over to the women. and he had these short shorts on, and he went running. He went to hurdle over the barbed wire and got hooked, and then fell flat on his face, and it snapped the picture right when that happened. And so I blew it up to poster size, and we put it up in the office. The poor guy was a mess. But yeah, I could see that quite well from space.
From space, you saw that.
From space. And on that note, we're going to take a break.
Poor guy.
Okay, it's
imagine?
Friday.
No.
He wasn't thinking about what he was thinking about before he jumped over there.
Right.
After that.
Yeah. Never
Let's
again.
take a quick break. You're listening to the number one news
had
talk
no
radio
point to jump
program
now.
in the Antelope Valley, and we'll be right back.
Remember when your neighbor found us naked in the car, and the time some outdoor action got us kicked out of the park? Getting frisky in the dark, I gave your eye a poke. I think the dog is also in the bed. Do I smell smoke, you and me? We never give up, you and me. We never ever ever give up. Getting hot and heavy with the whipped cream that we bought, undressing in the kitchen and then getting caught. So many things can go wrong, but we still can get it right. You and me, we're not gonna give up tonight.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Visit bedsider.org to compare all the choices and put the bogus myths to bed at bedsider.org.
Boy, we got options tonight.
Brought to you by Bedsider and the Ad Council. Bedsider.org.
I was leaving an exercise class.
All of a sudden, the pain started. My entire chest.
Shortness of breath, very fatigued, nauseated. Thought that it was nothing much, maybe just stress.
You're having a heart attack. I'm healthy, I'm young. There's no way it could be my heart. No way. Heart disease doesn't discriminate.
Listen to your body, go get checked.
Heart disease is the #1 killer in women.
And this is something that we can fight.
Visit GoRedForWomen.org to learn a woman's risk for heart disease.
Welcome back to AVNewsCast.com on News Talk 1380. If you
Steve,
think what goes
Jeff,
out over the air
Jeff
is
is rubbing off on me. I'm telling you right now.
It's the meds. You guys have a commonality
yeah,
now.
I know.
Okay?
Yep.
Now you're both no good.
We're in sync.
Years ago, I was doing a picture at Disney, and I went to this Indian restaurant on Ventura Boulevard.
Can't eat curry.
And I was with a bunch of people. And in my food was part of a dog or cat collar.
Ooh!
Stop lying.
You know what? If my mom's listening to the show, she was with me too.
Oh!
Okay? There were people there. Okay?
Wow, part of it. Ooh.
There were people there. I mention that because yesterday...
Yeah, meat's expensive.
And part of the dog tag was in your food.
I didn't say dog tag. Part of a collar.
Could it have been something else?
Little diamond, little studded collar things that you put on little tiny dogs or cats.
There's not a lot of meat on those.
Okay. That was in my food.
That's hardly worth the
All
effort.
right. It was disgusting. Yesterday in New York, a woman is having a kale salad.
Oh.
She's eating a kale salad.
She thinks she's very healthy.
Right. She's very healthy.
So funny how kale's a new thing now.
Manhattan, the theater district. All right. At a restaurant called Guy and Gollard.
Uh-oh.
In her kale salad, she sees something. And it is the head of a lizard.
Ooh.
With coming out of the back of the head are all kinds of guts.
Ooh.
And then she
This
finds...
segment brought to you
this is
by
a true
Geico.
story. And then she finds an arm.
Oh. Nice.
And she's already eaten
She kept
half her
picking.
salad.
Yo.
Now, the restaurant said, we haven't had anything like this happen in 20 years.
In 20 years?
Does that mean they had one once happen?
We had the lizard thing licked.
They did offer her a refund.
No.
Okay, on her salad. I think she's got a good legal action there.
She better have an action.
Where's
It's
the
her
damage?
obligation to shut that place down. That's this.
How does that happen?
No. Where'd the lizard come from, dude?
Now, it's a lizard, so I'm thinking...
What's on their menu?
Well, here's the thing. I'm thinking there's probably not a lot of lizards running around Manhattan.
No.
Yeah, it's
So it came with the
out there in
vegetable.
the field.
Yeah.
From the purveyor.
Yeah.
Probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they didn't wash it.
Because you could figure there's probably lizards around the farm,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right?
Eating the bugs. Yep.
But they
Can you
didn't
imagine?
wash it. That place has to be shut down. And this poor woman will never eat out again.
Not
Never.
there.
Never. No, she's never going to eat out again. She's never
Going through
going to
that salad with a
trust.
fine-tooth comb.
Man. And I'm surprised she was able to see it before she threw up all in it. Because there's just that's an immediate rejection of
Yeah,
all things.
It totally flipped her out as soon as, and it was like right against the side of the bowl. There was the arm.
Yeah.
And then you're saying in your head, how do I, you're repeating in your
What
head,
did
how do
I
you
just eat?
react? How do
How
you
do I
react?
get it back up?
Who do I punch in the face?
That would be you.
Oh, there he is.
Hi, Greg. Just had a passerby.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'd be okay with it.
Yeah,
You wouldn't be okay
I
with
would.
it. Oh,
I've
come
had
on.
I've eaten funky stuff. I had horse
But
near
it
Mexico
wasn't-
City.
it wasn't on your
I had
menu, baby.
Dog in Morocco.
if they told you, I could see you eating it, but you're thinking you're eating healthy.
Well, it's just a little more protein.
That's what one of our listeners sent me a text.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, it was Chuck.
Yeah.
Protein. Good.
It's like bacon bits.
Okay.
No.
Lizard bits.
Can you
No,
imagine?
she's got to shut. It is her obligation to shut that place down.
Oh,
Period.
she's probably got 75 attorneys chasing her right now.
Oh,
that all want this
Wish I
case.
was in
Okay.
Tijuana eating barbecue.
That all want. But you know what? Should she get a high, huge award for
Yes,
this?
she should, because I'm never going
What's
to
your
eat in dinner. I'm never eating out again.
I'm kind of siding with Jeff in that, at the end of the day, if you
Did you
have
get the
those
squirts,
mental
or what
issues,
was there?
go get it straightened out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, and you're going to pay for me to get it straightened out.
Okay.
So, yes, I want big dollars. This is the opportunity to go after you good. You're presenting yourself as in the service community to feed me, you idiot. Not no raw lizard head.
Okay. I guess if you can get a multi-million-dollar award for McDonald's for hot coffee,
Yeah, exactly.
you got to
Yo.
get something for the lizard head.
Deep.
Right?
Yes.
Deep. All right. All right. It's Friday. We're 1 week away from the air show, which starts next
Yes.
week. And the Blue
the home
Angels,
show.
The Blue
Joanne.
Angels. Oh, and the home show. And the Blue Angels are coming into town on Wednesday.
Yes.
And they'll be flying over the Antelope Valley.
Oh,
So you'll know when.
go
they're here.
Navy.
Have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. And thanks for making us the #1 news talk radio program in the Antelope Valley. And we'll be back on Monday.